Hello growing leaders, you were just introduced to the concept of food waste and its global impact. And now we're going to learn some tips and tricks to eliminate or reduce our own personal food waste through a vegetable scrap revival as well as a vegetable scrap repurposing demo that I'll be leading. And I want to continue to come up with creative ideas together that we can reduce our impact on our environment and reduce our impact on climate change.
You're going to take a head of garlic. You're going to separate out the cloves from the garlic head. There's going to be a blunt end or a flat end and a pointed end. And when planting, be sure to put the flat end down into the soil because that's where the roots will form. And be sure to space the cloves about 4 to 6 inches apart and make sure they are 1 to 2 inches deep in the soil so they're nice and cozy in the winter so they can be harvested in the spring and summer. You're going to take a carrot, peel your carrot, and save those scraps for later on. Now you're going to cut the carrot top and leave about 1 inch of room attached to the top. Make sure to keep those carrot tops intact. Then you're going to place into a bowl of water. And because carrots are grown underground as taproots, this method will not produce another carrot, but will regrow carrot tops, which can be eaten and make delicious pesto. There's some other taproots, including radishes and turnips, and a similar method is applied. They will not regrow an actual plant, just the greens. This was one of the more popular revival hacks that was going viral. You're going to cut an avocado in half, remove the seed, and then you're going to want to rinse the seed just under water, but be sure to not remove the brown outer layer. There's a top and bottom, and the top will sprout, so it must be kept dry, but the bottom of the seed with the small light circle will be placed in water. You can now take 3 to 4 toothpicks, insert them into the avocado, and then place the bottom side down into water. Now this will not produce any avocados, only a small non-fruiting plant. Avocado trees actually can take up to 10 years to produce maximum fruit. So you'll be waiting a long time. Here is another vegetable seed that we will be trying to revive. We're going to want to cut your pepper in half, remove all of the seeds from the inside of the pepper, and then you're going to want to allow the seeds to dry. And there's a few methods you can do this. You can simply place them on a paper towel, leave them on a plate, and then you're going to want to plant them into soil. However, this will only work if the seeds are viable. In a lot of the viral videos, it showed placing half of the pepper and its seeds into the ground, but that would cramp the roots and it wouldn't give the plants enough room to grow, and the pepper also probably wouldn't break down in time before the plant itself started to grow. Next, you're going to want to take a head of lettuce. You're going to want to keep the bottom part intact and cut about 1 inch or 2 from the top of that and cut all of those beautiful greens off using the salad however you'd like. And then you're going to strip away the outer layer just to leave a small layer of lettuce in the center. And then you're going to place the base into water, and it will continue to grow lettuce. It won't be a huge head, but you will get some greens. Now for one of my all-time favorite hacks, we're going to use green onions. We're going to cut the roots off and leave about 1 inch or 2 of the onion attached to the base of the root. And there's 2 methods you can do with this. Either you can place it in water and continue to grow, which is the method that I normally use, or you can replant this because it already has a developed root system and they will continue to grow green onions. I'm lucky enough I haven't bought in green onions in months because they keep regrowing. One of my other favorite revival hacks is regrowing basil. As you can see, I have already had this growing in water. That's why a root system has developed. So you can cut basil, place it in a jar of water, or the ones that already have roots developed, you can plant right into soil and they will continue to grow. Similarly to basil, all of these herbs can be revived and kept alive a little bit longer if they're starting to wilt if they're placed in water. And some of them, such as the rosemary and the mint, will actually start growing a root system and they can be planted into soil. Up next, we're going to grab those potatoes that you may have forgotten about in the bottom of your drawer like I did. These ones have started to grow what are called eyes, and that is a perfect indicator that they're ready to go on the ground. Ideally, you'd want this to dry out before putting into the soil, but you'd want to put the cut side down with the eyes facing above, cover it in soil, and it will regrow potatoes. In order for all of these hacks to be successful, we have to think of conditions for growth. So our climate in the Bay Area, we have to think about air, healthy soil, water, as well as the amount of sunlight everything is getting. Now is a perfect segue from reviving our food scraps to repurposing our food scraps. Bananas are a great source for potassium, which is one of the main macronutrients for plant growth. And many people make a banana tea by soaking the banana peels in water and then using that tea on the plants for plant growth and plant health. But you can also just compost them or place them in your vermicompost for your worms to break down. Eggshells offer a great source of calcium and trace nutrients. There's multiple ways you can repurpose these food scraps. I like to save all of mine in a compost bucket. You can either blend them up into a blender and make a fine powder, or you can cook them in the oven at a very low temperature to dry them out. Or what I normally do is dry them out by the air and break them up with my hands and place them in the soil. Your plants are going to love you for this, especially your tomatoes. And after your morning coffee, you're going to want to hold on to those coffee grounds. Coffee grounds are slightly acidic. They have a pH of around 6.4 to 6.7, but some plants, especially vegetables, really like acidic soil. So you can put it right into the compost, you can put it into vermicompost with the worms, or you can directly scatter it right into another great use for repurposing those veggie scraps is to create vegetable stock, and you could do so by taking the skins of garlic, onion, carrots, some of those dried herbs, and boiling it all down to create a delicious stock.